Alright, so I'm genuinely so fucking mad. So I've been wanting to make this video for a very long fucking time. But then Pokey made one. He said basically what I wanted to get through, but not really. But since he has a larger fan base, I hope that Stylus would maybe do something about it. But they never fucking did. And now Silent made one. So why not add to that? Why not fucking make them do something about this, hopefully. You guys probably don't know this, but I haven't been clipping for almost a year now. So I never wanted to stop clipping, but because of the scope update, I just didn't have the time to adjust. If you want the specific date, it was 2018 05 19. That's when I stopped clipping. In just a few days, it's been over a year. And that's when they rolled out this scope update, which gave it so much sway. More sway than anyone could have ever imagined. And I get what they were going through. It looks a lot like Battlefield and how their scopes work. But what you gotta realize is that before this update, the game was this perfect blend between Call of Duty and Battlefield. And it was so much fun, and it just worked so smoothly. It had its own elements. It was just a great game overall. But with all these updates and all these guns and all these maps and everything, it just started leaning more and more towards a straight rip-off other than its own game. And you can see why this is an issue, right? It completely destroyed all the elements that was fun with it. I think a big issue is that stylists, they don't really understand the sniping community. They just use this term paradox. They don't know that there's other fucking clans. They just know that there's paradox. They're annoying. Let's get rid of them, basically. I remember after the scope update, I went to argue against it in the stylist community Discord. What I said then was really immature if you find it. One thing that was apparent was that everyone in the Discord, they see these fucking developers as gods. They look up to them. Whatever they do, it's justified because they're gods. They can't do anything wrong. And for whatever reason, the sniping community is basically a meme. They fucking hate it. Everyone in the Discord. I don't understand why. It's a fan base. Like, we genuinely like your fucking game. Why make fun of us? I don't understand. Out of this argument about the snipers and the new scope update, I got very toxic statement, in my opinion. And I don't know if it was just responding to all the fucking hate that they were getting for this update, but one of the developers said, we don't owe you anything. Or the truth is, we don't owe you anything. And I don't know who said it. It doesn't really matter. But if they genuinely have this attitude towards their game, I feel like that's a pretty fucking shitty attitude to have. We don't owe you anything. Like, it's a game. We played the game, you know? Like, sir, you can make us stop playing, but like you're still losing a dedicated fan base by trying to get rid of us. Like, I don't think they're genuinely trying to get rid of us, because there's been updates that showed that they still care somewhat. Since they don't understand what's going on, they don't know what updates need to be rolled out to make us happy. Because, you know, the Stir Scout that was added for clipping, basically, it's a really good gun. Like, they did a good job on that, but that's not what we wanted at all. You know, when they made the bolts 2 times faster because of the update where we couldn't scope out bolting, like, that was cool. Thank you for that. But you gotta realize you didn't change the fire rate. So I don't understand the point. And the whole thing with glitches and stuff, I understand that glitches come and go, and, you know, if a glitch shows up that they can patch, they will patch it. So slide shots are completely justified. I don't care that they patched that, because that needed to be patched. It's a glitch. And the fact that they put barriers on the spawn traps, it was obviously an issue that needed to be fixed. Like, they highly depend on these new players, and making them have bad experience is obviously the last thing they want, and that's why they added them, basically. And I understand that. One thing I don't understand is why they made the maps 20 times bigger. Like Mirage, they removed Revamp because it was too big. Then they add Mirage, which is literally the same size or even bigger. They're bigger and they have more cover. It makes the game so slow paced. Like, you gotta understand this. It's not fun when you get 1 kill every 5 fucking minutes because you have to run around a huge map trying to find people. This has to be a disadvantage for newer people, right? That the game isn't fast paced. You want it to be fast paced because that holds people's attention up. But you know, it's totally up to them. I just think this is quite dumb. One of the reasons they're obviously not doing anything about it because they don't get enough backlash, and they still get the same amount of people playing it. Most of those players are obviously not veterans or whatever. They haven't played the game for very long, and people that haven't played the game for very long are probably more likely to spend money on the game. So I think it's a lot more about, not that they hate us, but trying to make the experience better for newer players, if I haven't gotten that through already. That whenever you argue against them saying that they're trying to get rid of us, they're like, no, we're not. We just don't like you, basically. Because I can understand if you're just running around and you get shot in the head by a sniper, obviously that's annoying. But you gotta understand that there's skill and there's time and effort into getting to these levels where you can just shoot someone in the head. There's bullet drop, there's scopes away, there's whatever, you know? They don't need more nerfing. I think that scopes away, bullet drop, travel time, it's too much. It's too much. Plus having to hit headshots. Like, no one's gonna pick up a sniper and go, wow, this is good. It's obviously for when you've played the game like 500 hours that, you know, you pick up a sniper and you're like, this will probably be more effective if I get good with it. But the thing is, you're trying to make it not effective. So all that skill and time is wasted. All the time I spent on the game, I feel like it's wasted. And you might think that, you know, who am I to say anything? I haven't been clipping for a year, but I still get on the game every day, hoping that there might be anything new. They might have rolled back these stupid fucking updates. I've literally had dreams where I can scope in while vaulting. That's how far it got. I really wanted to play their game, and I didn't want to adjust to this bullshit. I've had so many friends that I've met in the community just come and fucking go because they don't like the game. And, you know, to some extent, you have to understand that, you know, yeah, the game gets boring, and any game does. You shouldn't just change, like, mechanics that are deeply rooted into the game since a couple years ago. You can't just change them and think that it's totally fine. The mechanic I'm talking about is obviously scoping in while bolting. That has been here since the start, and for every reason they thought it was a good idea to remove it. Like, for the scope sway, that's such a shit fucking... Oh my, they didn't even put the effort into making the scope sway match the scope. They just completely removed the mechanic because that's what fit the fucking scope sway. Like, it's so dumb. I just can't get over that. Alright, so my brother just brought up a good point while I was making this video. That, you know, if they get rid of the dedicated players and make new updates, that will mean newer players will come and they'll eventually become dedicated players. We care about your game, just please care about us. It would be so easy to just roll it back when the snipers were balanced. I feel like it would be even more balanced now with all the bigger maps. And it would make sniping genuinely a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyable. You'd get more people wanting to snipe, and that would be just great for everyone. So yeah, I'm running out of arguments now that haven't been said before. So if you're listening, just please